Hey, this is Seagrove. I'm here with Alex Schemanske, Tye Pellecchia, and Andrew Wamboldt. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Denver Regional Championship, which is in Standard. Now the less favored format in the general public's eye, which gave me whiplash, but whatever. Alex, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Alex Schemanske. I'm in the top 16 race this year. Highest non-DDG player in America right now. Yeah.
Boss. Tye, go ahead.
My name's Tye. I'm barely in the top 16 race, and this is like my first full season.
Ballin'. Andrew, go ahead.
I'm Andrew Wamboldt, and I don't play too much anymore, but I used to be pretty good like 2 or 3 years ago.
Awesome. And you run the Charizard Lounge?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so first question, let's talk about Standard in general. Why is Standard now less popular than Expanded? I don't think that's actually true. I shouldn't have said that. I should let you all say that. Anyways, why is it seem that Standard is less popular than Expanded? Wamboldt, you start.
I think Expanded just has a lot better consistency options. All the supporters in Standard are pretty bad. And then Marshadow just puts one player down to 4 cards to start the game most games. And that really adds a lot of variance to it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of snowballing that can happen in Standard and in Expanded. Within, there's a lot more comeback potential. Where in Standard, like if you miss a turn 1 Lily, you're just always behind in card advantage.
Yeah.
And if you have to play like Cynthia on turn 1, then you have less of your good supporters for later in the game if you're not playing a engine based around playing Lily.
Yeah, sounds about right. Tye, anything to add to that?
N is not in Standard, so it's pretty impossible to come back.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah. I think just Expanded is generally accepted as right now less. I don't know how to say this without calling it toxic, but like it's less painful to play than it's been in years.
Yeah. And there's no Lucamine. I think the Lucamine ban really helped.
Yes.
So I actually think overall Standard is probably still slightly more popular just because most people who go to tournaments aren't super competitive and they have the newer cards. But I do think Standard is a much less healthy format, unfortunately. Cool. So let's actually get into the last Standard tournament we saw. We saw Zach Lesage win with Blounds, or what is it, K-pop or something like that? Clown pop? I forget what they call it. Anyways, was that just the right deck at the right time, or is it the best deck in format? Tye, what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like it's just the right deck at the right time.
Okay. What are some of its downfalls?
Like inconsistency problems off of like not hitting B-string and having to like hope your opponent dead draws off let loose.
Okay. Wamboldt, what do you think?
I think it's one of the top decks just because it's so aggressive and it can take advantage of the other GX heavy decks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it can trade really poorly against like a lot of the non-GX decks. But if you're playing against like Pikaram and Zoroark nonstop, you have a lot of potential to do well. But I think a lot of the Pikaram lists are really going more heavy Zapdos and just set up the Pikaram later in the game. So I think the matchups will be a bit worse in that regard. Because I think out of the international, a lot of people were saying that Jose's like all-in aggressive Pikaram was the way to play Pikaram.
Right.
But it seems like it's kind of moved back to more Zapdos Jirachi based approach, and then I think a lot of people have moved away from Pikarom in favor of just like the Jirachi, Jolteon GX, Tapu Koko GX deck as well.
Right.
And I don't think that's a very good matchup for Blacephalon either.
So the big single prize attacker deck is Zapdos. We've seen all sorts of new variants of Zapdos pop up, surprisingly to me at least. Schemanske, what's the best Zapdos variant?
Zapdos Jolteon. It's just the most consistent, and like it doesn't suffer from trying to do too many gimmicks at once.
Okay. What does Jolteon bring to the table?
It helps mirror match. It gives the deck a little bit of a comeback potential. Also, just like having an attacker that can do 200 damage out of nowhere pretty easily is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Tye, what do you think is the best Zapdos variant?
I like the Ultra Beast one, just because it plays Buzzwole though. Have never used the Nihilego once. The fighting type is really good.
Yeah. Especially against all this lightning we're seeing. Wamboldt, what about you? What do you think is the best Zapdos variant?
I like the Zapdos, Jolteon, Tapu Koko GX. Jolteon can, like Alex said, let you come back, but can also snowball your lead if they can't work around the GX attack, and then Koko coming in to take a big knockout with some electro powers is a good late game attacker that can be hard to overcome for some decks. And I really like Acerola in it as well. Picking stuff up has been really good in the games I've seen in action.
I agree. Two things came up from that I want to talk about. The first is, well, let's start with Acerola, actually. So Acerola, seeing more and more play, extremely powerful card. Why are we not seeing Mime yet? Why isn't Mime coming into play? Alex, you're laughing. What do you think?
I mean, I played Mime at a League Cup this weekend, so...
How was it?
It was terrible. I played it in spread. This deck's terrible. Don't play it.
Was the Mime terrible or was spread terrible?
Oh, the whole deck was terrible. But the Mime, like, when you want to play it, most things are either playing Muck or don't need the Acerola.
Okay.
So, it just doesn't do enough. Like, Zoroark plays Muck. They're not going to get stuck by a scoop-up block.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Mime? Mime to stop Acerola.
Yeah. So I played Coco Spread 2 at a cup a few weeks ago, and I built off of Dallas Rights List, which had Mr. Mime in it, and that's one of the cards I cut from the deck because it didn't ever do anything because of Alolan Muck, and that's just a problem I had in general. Like at the start of the format before Collinsville, I thought Alolan Eggs could be good because it had a kind of shaky Zoroark matchup because of the Acerola spam, so I thought I was going to put the Mr. Mime in there, and that'll help that. But then Alolan Muck's just way too much to overcome, so I wouldn't recommend playing the Mr. Mime in any deck. Okay. It doesn't really seem to do anything.
How much HP does Alolan Muck have?
120.
Okay. Anyways, so the other thing I wanted to ask about was, when we talk about Zapdos decks, no one mentioned Zapdos Lycanroc, which is seems to be the flavor of the month. Tye, do you have any experience with Zapdos Lycanroc?
I played it before. It feels weird because I don't know, like having a 2-prizer in like a 1-prize focus deck just feels off.
Yeah. Especially
if you want to put like Shrine in it. I don't think people do, but it helps in certain situations, but like it's pretty gimmicky.
Okay. Alex, what are your thoughts on it?
I just think it's like a slightly worse version of the other Zapdos decks. Like,
sure,
all the Zapdos decks are insanely good. Like, but the Lycanroc one just doesn't have that little extra like mirror. Like, it doesn't beat mirror often. Like, that's what I'm getting out of the deck.
Okay.
I'd rather just play Jolteon.
Wamboldt, on the whole, not with any specific, but we have these Zapdos variants, we have Zoroark variants. Which one do you prefer, Zapdos or Zoroark?
I definitely prefer Zapdos. I've been testing a lot of Zoroark, and it just seems like it has a inconsistent setup a lot of the time. like if you don't draw the right cards in the early game, it can be hard when you're just getting everything knocked out really fast by Zapdos.
Yeah.
I think that first turn knockout that Zapdos is able to get is really powerful, especially since they can usually get Guzma and like target down stuff, and really just mess up your setup and knock out what you don't want them to knock out to start the game. But I like the theory of Zoroark as being like a deck that has pretty evenly spread matchups. But every time I test it, the theory doesn't really pan out because I will like trade like 3 times in a turn and then miss a field blower when I need it or something like that. So
Yeah.
I think just the consistency of Zapdos decks makes them a lot more preferable to Zoroark decks.
Okay. Alex or Tye, anything to add to that?
I prefer Zapdos right now. Zoroark just seems worse.
Okay. Which is your preferred Zoroark variant? Alex, we'll start with you.
Zoroark just in a straight Lycanroc, no like Lucario or anything.
Okay. Do you play the
playing-
second Lycanroc?
Yeah, playing one of the new ones. It's insanely good. It just feels more consistent than like trying to juggle 3 different stage 1s.
Right.
Like, sure, one of those is consistency, but having only Rockruffs and only Zoroarks is just easier to play and like more consistent overall.
Yeah. For sure. Tye, do you have a different option outside of Zoroark, Lycanroc?
No, I like that one the best with the second Lycanroc.
Uh-huh.
The other one.
Wamboldt, any spicy Zoroark variant, or by spicy I mean non-Lycanroc?
Not spicy, but I like the 2-2 Lycanroc with the 2-2 Lucario GX with the 2 Brooklet Hill to really get your basics into play really fast. I think that got like top 8 at least at like some European special event. It might have been higher, but that's the list I've been working with most recently.
Okay. Do you play Ditto in that?
Yeah, you play Ditto and a 1-1 Alolan Muck. I'm not sure if that is in the exact list, but I at least played Ditto and the 1-1 Muck, and I think the original list did as well.
Why is the Lucario worth it?
I think just being able to have like that aggressive option in the mirror match as well as against Pikarom helps it out. Just like all the reasons why Stefan made it in the first place, just because you can have the Rockruff and the Riolu down and then put the fighting energy on the Rockruff, and then they have to make a decision on what they want to target down.
Okay. We've seen a resurgence of, at least online, I've seen a resurgence of mill or control decks. What's your favorite control deck in this format? Tye, why don't you start?
Control or like
control or mill? Either one.
Probably just the Regigigas Valplume thing.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it has better matchups than all the other stall decks, except, like, it pretty much beats everything except Pikarom with Jolteon. That's, like, because they can get around the Vileplume and they play too many energies to, like, try and deck out.
Yeah. Alex.
Probably. There's not that many different. Oh, Celebi Venusaur, yeah, that's sort of a wall deck.
Sure,
I'm gonna call it a wall deck for the sake of this.
That's fine.
I think it's really good. Well, not really. It loses to Blacephalon, but it can beat pretty much everything else.
Okay.
Like, I've found a way to make it beat Pikarom somewhat consistently, so it's really good. It's just like, it's so tanky that nothing in this format's consistently one-shotting it, and you can heal everything.
Wamboldt, any thoughts on mill or control decks?
I think they're going to be pretty popular.
At Denver?
In particular, like, and by pretty popular, I mean like 5% maybe. But But like enough people playing it that the presence will be felt, but it's not going to like be the most popular deck or anything like that.
Right.
I've seen like just so many people trying out the Vileplume, Regigigas stuff, and it's very annoying. I really don't get why Lusamine didn't get banned in Standard too, but as far as my favorite that I'd like to play, I do like the Venusaur one because it's a normal deck. It's not just toxic Lusamine spamming.
Right. So we see like Venusaur playing, that Prism Stadium, knee pads. We see Blacephalon on Heat Factory. We see a lot of choice bands. We see a lot of stadiums right now, including Shrine and all this stuff. I think part of the reason we're seeing this increase is because of the Prism Star Stadiums, Black Market, Fairy Guard, or whatever it's called. And what do you guys think about the state of stadiums and Field Blower? Because obviously Field Blower doesn't work on the Prism Star Stadiums, but at the same time, people are playing more stadiums to counter them, so Field Blower comes back into play. Anyways, big intro. What do you all think about this? Are you looking at Field Blower? Are you playing more stadiums? What are your decks looking like at the moment? Alex, why don't you start?
Generally, if I'm playing stadiums instead, but say I'm playing something that needs to blower a weakness policy at some point, I'll opt to play a blower if I need to.
Okay. Are you seeing more weakness policy?
Not really, but if I ever see it's going to be big, I'm definitely considering it.
Yeah. And somehow I forgot Thunder Mountain, which is like the biggest stadium. Wamboldt, what do you think?
Yeah, I think for Denver, so in general, I like just playing the stadiums. But for Denver, if you're going for hitting fighting weakness with like non-GXs to deal with Pikarom in particular, I've seen weakness policy going in that deck a lot. And so like if you're playing like spread and you're relying on like Larvitar to hit for weakness to get you a knockout, or if you're playing like something like a Malamar deck with Onyx or a Quagsire deck with Onyx, just having that fighting tech isn't going to get you there anymore. Right. You're going to need Field Blower to get rid of the weakness policy. And I think for some of those decks, just having to give up one card slot is going to hurt them for this upcoming tournament, just because they're already kind of fringe stuff already.
Right.
Like I was testing the spread a lot, and I just had to give it up completely once I saw the weakness policies and peek around, because it's already just on the fringe of viability, but the weakness policy really messes with that fighting strategy. So, but other than that, I just play your stadiums and just play your strategy.
Okay. What Tye, did I get you on that? I didn't get you on that. Any thoughts to add on blower and stadium counts in decks right now?
The only reason I'd really play blower is for policy, and I'm pretty sure like every deck plays stadiums, whether it's like Viridian or the Thunderman or Shrine. Every deck pretty much has stadium counters.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about what decks you expect to see. What decks do you expect to be the most popular? I'm not going to call on certain people on this one or whatever. Just think like big picture. What are some of the big decks you expect to see? Like, I'm definitely going to play at least one of these, or I'm most likely going to play at least one of these. What do you think?
Zapdos, Pikarom, Zoroark, and Malamar should be the big four.
Okay. You expect to see Tye and Alex, do you all agree with those? You expect to see Malamar?
I expect to see Malamar. It's the easy play for a lot of people. It doesn't actually lose to all that much. It just takes 50-50 to everything.
Tye, what do you think? Anything to add?
Definitely a lot of Zapdos, especially the Ultra Beast one. Everybody's been playing that at Cups. Malamar probably. Everybody just has that as a backup or whatever, their go-to deck. And then definitely Zoroark.
Okay. If you had to pick one deck to not lose to, what would it be? Alex, you go first.
Stall. I refuse to lose to the stupid stall deck.
So what are you doing to not lose to that? Are you taking a Oranguru? Or are you playing decks?
Oranguru doesn't even fix it all the time. He has Lugia GX. But it helps a lot, so... Oranguru and Zoroark decks, just generally playing things that don't lose the stall. Like a Naganadel GX in Blacephalon. I play that because I'm not losing stall.
I feel like Tye's going to play stall. That look on his face.
Oh, yeah. He's in that group. He'll play stall.
Tye, what are you not losing to?
One prize decks.
Okay.
Like stuff to play Shrine.
Yeah. Wamboldt, what are you not losing to?
Probably Zoroark. It seems like I always play it like 3 times every regional, and I expect it to still be popular. A lot of people just like that deck.
Yeah. So besides Zapdos, what are your top one prize attacker decks? We mentioned Zapdos, we mentioned Regigigas Stall. What else is out there? Just anybody.
I'd say Charizard and then Quagsire would be my next two. Although I might be forgetting like some actual meta deck, but for like rogue stuff, Charizard and Quagsire would be my top 2.
Charizard's actually good.
It's decent.
It's scary. It's hard to deal with.
It's a stage 2 though, so
yes.
Right.
So there's Marshadow. We have Marshadow for that, but. I played Guardy at a thing, and I went undefeated until I lost the last round of Charizard. I was like, he doesn't put any energies on.
That makes sense.
Oh, it was awful. I'm impressed by that deck. Anyways, anyone else? Quagsire, Charizard. What other one prize attacker is Baby Buzz big in a deck outside of like Zapdos?
I played one spread, and then Passimian's really good. Yeah.
Oh, Passimian. Mm-hmm. Tye, what do you think about Passimian?
I think it's pretty good. I like the one that plays lightning energies and electro power. It just like dead draws a lot. That's like the only downside.
Yeah, that's kind of a downside.
Yeah.
Is that Zapdos or Coco?
It plays like 1 Zapdos and like 3 Cocos.
Okay.
Just like help against Zapdos.
Cool. Awesome. So, last question. What is the best deck that you will not be playing this weekend? This weekend. Wamboldt, you start.
I won't be playing Lightning. I think that's the best deck in format. I just don't have any of the cards for it. Unless someone wants to sponsor me and drop me off some Jolteons and Zapdos and a few more Jirachi. But I'm pretty sure I'm playing Charizard, so...
Respect.
Oh boy.
I'm pulling for you.
But I think the Zapdos Jolteon is the best deck, so... it's the best deck, and it's the best deck I'm not playing.
Tye, what about you?
Stall.
Best deck you're not playing is Stall. Which Stall? Regigigas Vileplume?
Anything that win condition is unknown hand or decking your opponent.
All right. Alex, best deck you're not playing?
I was going to say Stall, but I'll change it for the sake of the video. Zoroark Lycanroc. I'm not playing Zoroark again until expanded.
Wamboldt, hit us with the shout-outs.
I don't have any shout-outs. I guess shout-out to anyone that plays out their round 9 match at 18 match points.
Go for gold. Alex.
All right. Shout out to 6 prizes. I have an article dropping this Thursday on Standard. Shout out to Top Cut Comics for sponsoring me. Yeah.
Tye.
Shout out to my Twitter. It's my exact name. And shout out to Brett Burns.
All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck in Denver. play out your round and play Charizard. Peace. Shout out to my patrons, Caleb Vance, Dan Nelson, Pokestats. Thank you guys so much. And Alex Haney and Daniel. Appreciate it a lot. Steve, Enrico, Jess Swinson, Stefan Ivanov, Cecil, Gabe, Will, and Brian. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, supporting me, and helping me continue to produce content, which I believe is beneficial for people who are watching. Thanks again. Peace out.